Aloha everyone, my name is Sarah Champagne Look. I'm 21 years old and you're Miss Bikini Waipahu 2019. So at first I was gonna make a super extravagant video, but decided not to, just because the best way to introduce oneself is through a one-on-one. And this is the perfect way to do it. So let's get started. I'm a senior at the University of Hawaii in Manoa studying music. If all goes well, I'll be obtaining my bachelor's degree in May. Afterwards, plan is to attend Chapman University in their nonprofit leadership program or to stay home and attend UH in their communicology master's program. On top of that, I am a co-founder and director of Malama Music Arts, where we work with different programs throughout the island and help develop the organization into music curriculum that can be self-sufficient for a long-term period. 3 words that best describe me. 1 word definitely would have to be optimistic, because tell me not. And then 2 would have to be genuine. 3, vulnerable. These 3 attributes allow yourself to be who you are, and that is something that I strive to do every day. A typical day in my life, please bear with me as I try to make it as general as possible, because I live my life down to the minute. Alright, so we have 2 options. One option is I wake up at 5 o'clock, second option is 7 o'clock. Now, if I'm waking up at 5, I'm usually hitting the gym from 5:30 to 7:30. Then I'll be having breakfast and whatnot. If I'm waking up at 7, that means I'm going to bar classes. Now, bar is a fitness curriculum that incorporates ballet technique. And you may think that that sounds easy. Let me tell you, it is not. Your body physique will change in so many different ways that you did not even know it was possible. Your mind will be pushed in different ways that didn't even know that it was possible. And you are literally using just your body weight to push you into these awkward placements, but it's so good for your muscles. And if you ever want to try bar, head on over to Sweat and Soul Studio. They have incredible instructors there. I've been going there for about 6 months now, and I have never been happier. Okay, then after breakfast, if I'm doing those, so that's when I usually finish my fitnesses. Then throughout the day, I have my classes. In the afternoon, I'll be teaching music. I am a music educator. That is what I do as well. And so right now I'm working with Kaimuki High School, and it's been such a joy ever since. After that, in the afternoon, once I get back to school, I live on campus. So if Tuesday, Thursdays, you see the big nets down for volleyball, you can catch me there. I'm always there Tuesday and Thursdays. Let's see. After that, when I'm not doing any of that, I will be usually practicing my clarinet. That's what I'm classically trained to do, as well as studying or just working on other things and doing events that are community service related. Now, what does it mean to be living a healthy lifestyle? There are 3 attributes to living a healthy lifestyle that we almost always forget. The first one, our mental physique. Now, mentally, we have to be okay with what's up here. This is something that we don't talk about as often, or only starting to talk about right now. So for example, I have been dealing with depression since 2015. I have tried different methods to become healthier in this aspect, but one natural form that I've always loved that deals with my depression, and with my depression comes my anxiety, overthinking, and a whole lot of stress. But the ways that I focus in on that is through my gym. I love working out. I'm pretty much a gym fanatic, and because of that, I use that as a way to let go of my depression or any types of anxieties or stresses that I have for that day. And it's been working with me ever since. After we have our mental, of course we have physical. I actually used to be close to 200 pounds when I graduated from high school, and now I'll be graduating from college, and my body has not been happier ever since. I had an ex-boyfriend who told me that I was overweight and pretty much that I was fat and that I wasn't beautiful and that I needed to go to the gym every day. And so because of that, that's where I developed a mental negativity and was at the gym all the time. I was starving myself, and that is something that no one should ever be going through. But because of that, that is where we incorporate those two together. Now, if we incorporate our third attribute to living a healthy lifestyle, that's our spiritual. Now, I am a true believer of Christ. You don't have to be, no one has to. No one, you have the choice to do whatever you want and to choose. You don't have to believe in higher being. Spiritual can also be incorporated with meditation, or reading silently, or even sleeping, because sleep is a great form of allowing yourself to reset both mentally and physically. With those three together, if those are not at what you need to be at, like this is what you need to improve on, that is okay, because you're still living that healthy lifestyle. You are still looking to get the help, the aid, the support that you needed at. And that's what's like to live a healthy lifestyle. To be comfortable in the uncomfortable, and that you are striving to be a better self, a positive mindset, and to know that you are working for you and not working for anyone else. That is what it means to be living healthy. Some of my hobbies include playing volleyball. Like I said, I'm always at the gym. You can always catch me there. I love working out. That's another big hobby of mine. I would consider playing clarinet as a hobby, even though I'm classically trained in it, and that's what I'm here for school as. I do love pleasure playing a lot, and that's another really great stress reliever for me. I like to think that I'm also a professional singer in the shower. Shout out to all my homies who do that, because I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one. And then another one that I like to keep secret, but everyone pretty much knows, I am a huge foodie. I love food to death. Like, I spend at least 75% of my paycheck to attending different food events, going to cute little bistros or cafes, and just finding what unique little food items that place or facility has. And it's usually always very expensive, but sister doesn't care, and sister loves going and just living in that realm of finding out what more I can do to consume these different types of meals. I love doing it. I don't eat a lot of it, but I just like sampling different parts of it. Something interesting about me, well, there's 3 things that I like to share with you that's pretty interesting for me, I would have to say. I just competed as Miss Ala Moana 2018 in the Miss Hawaii Miss America program, and that is where I got my self-confidence back. I think pageants are so important because it allows you to grow and to challenge yourself rather than challenging yourself against other girls, if that makes sense. And for me, I had the hardest time trying to be okay and happy with who I was. Had it not been for this past year where I allowed myself to grow, that is when I became a better person. And that is when I became confident in who I am today. And so that's like my one interesting fact. 2 interesting fact, quick one, is my pinky is actually broken, and the knuckle itself right here, I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't go straight. Like, this is my resting hand, and this was from an injury that I had gotten back in high school when I was in the color guard. I had just participated in Kaikalino Winter Guard. Winter Guard is an indoor version of color guard. It just elaborates more on contemporary and jazz dance movements. If you don't know what color guard is, if you ever watched a marching band and you see the flag twirlers dancing around on the field, that's color guard. And this is the injury that I had gotten from it. Last fact that I'd like to share with you all is that Sarah Champagne is my full first, and that champagne was actually given to me because that was my father's favorite place to work at when he traveled the most. And ever since then, my first has been Sarah Champagne. Now, what would you want to do, or why would you want to win Miss Bikini Hawaii? I think winning Miss Bikini Hawaii is not just about you anymore. You become the representation of your organization, thus the reason why it is so incredibly important to portray yourself as who you are today. Winning Miss Bikini Hawaii doesn't just allow me to say, oh yes, I am Miss Bikini Hawaii, but the fact that it is a representation to show other young people, specifically the youth and young girls, that you don't have to be a certain body type. And this goes on to the reason why I love Miss Bikini Hawaii pageant. This particular pageant does not judge you on your body type, but in fact it judges you on your body physique and the self-confidence that you put out. Those two things are very important to understand versus the body type. I had the largest challenge of understanding what those concepts were, and the fact that I can differentiate between those two now allows me to be a stronger Sarah. And that is so important for every girl to understand, that you choose to look a certain way, you choose to be a certain person, you choose to talk and treat people the way that you think that you may or may not want to be treated, and you choose at the end of the day to choose a beauty pageant. And this beauty pageant allows you to empower all these different concepts, what allows you to be vulnerable, optimistic about life, and genuine as a true human being. If you're not putting yourself out there the way that you want to put yourself out there, that means you're basically living a lie. And being Miss Bikini Hawaii gives me that empowerment to show people that you can be who you are, and that you don't need to fight a certain body type, you don't need to starve yourself, you don't need to be bulimic to be at the physique that you are at. As long as you are doing you, then you, more power to you, better for the fact that that is what the community needs. And that's what it means to be Miss Bikini Hawaii. And for me, that is something that I know at the end of the day that I would truly serve my community through. I would serve the community through service, through my academics, and especially the empowerment that Miss Bikini gives as an athlete, as a go-getter, as a person who is willing to do whatever it takes to get to where I need to be at the next level as Sarah Champagne Look. So please vote for me. Mahalo so much for listening to this introduction video. I hope to see you there on the pageant night, and have a great aloha day. Mahalo.